be done through either Cash App or PayPal. Should you falter, I will decimate every last person on this idiot.
Something about Cell going, all payments must be done through Cash App or PayPal is crazy. Something about Cell challenging the entire world to a duel is very Cell-pilled, but then it's just like, all payments should go through PayPal or Cash App.
I eagerly await the terrified looks on all of your weak little faces. None of you will be spared.
Dude, you put in the work for this. This is awesome.
Those of you confident in your abilities may feel free to participate. Let the Saturn games begin.
Damn. I love when someone is willing to become the villain, you know? I love when someone's willing to become the villain of a scene, because we need that. We need to drive us forward. And it comes with confidence, bro. This goes dummy hard. It's really sick.
It really does in its own way. So, hey, viewers, fans, subscribers, and Dragon Ball goers all the same. Welcome back to the next episode here on the Space Bridge. So today, in going through my usual roundups and proceedings through the Dragon Ball Fighters universe, originally there was something else I was going to document with HOC and a direction change in the narrative, but this came up in my timeline also around the last Dragon's Pit when Stark came back on the scene for Dragon Ball Fighters, that made a really huge announcement and it was like a really big like thunder that just crashed down that got a lot of people's attention, and this is really, really good. So Saturn had created this one-on-one gambit, if you will, in terms of the Cell games, Saturn games that he calls it, which is a take on the original anime version that Cell made in the 90s and the 80s at the beginning. Well, the Cell games, it's a take on the Cell games from the anime. And so here in his take, the bid is very nice. It sounds pretty legitimate. It sounds very concrete. And it's a really interesting, like, next level pit stop for the PC universe of Dragon Ball FighterZ. So I'm very intrigued to see where this will go. So in his current assessment here, he's gotten almost 700 likes and almost 200 retweets, mine included. And then also almost 100 or so bookmarks, including my own. So here in the link down below, well, the link down below here, but also the link down below on the channel, his channel, you'll also have the link to see the full video of the general combat challenge that's being given to the whole of the community. I talked with him briefly about this that night when this went live, because this is something really big that's coming up on the land. This is going to be for July 16th. That's not far away, actually. That's not far away at all. That's a couple of days away, if that. And then with all these people that he had tagged down here, there's a handful of retweets that have gone out here on the algorithm. I think, because what do I think here? Because with the names that he's tagged here, like, if he's taking EU, there's a great amount of EU players, I think, that would be very, very interested to want to fight Saturn. Like, Puffcakes would play in that if he was taking EU. You get him, you got DW, Dragon Warrior, or Videct, or Noka, or a lot of other EU heads for sure, and they will absolutely talk in the grapevines about something like this for sure, which means it's going to just keep bringing in more traffic and more people of interest to want to take part in this. HOC heads will definitely want to take part in this. So like faulty things that I know that he requested, faulties will definitely play in this. Scamby 120% would play in this if it was on PlayStation. He would be the first one. He would probably be faster than me on the draw. He'll try anything once, but I know he's not taking PlayStation. This is a PC focused event, but I'm just assessing that because PlayStation would definitely be intrigued to want to take part in something like this if it was on the table. Yipes might tweet. He might retweet this low key. Globku, I thought might retweet this, and he he actually did end up retweeting it. With Bum, like it's my personal take, just based off of past encounters and interests. But like Bum or Hikari, maybe Enzim, I don't know. Those are examples I think that would only make the first move or respond maybe after the first episode or sessions. And they probably won't move beforehand. I think personally that they might be trying to gauge the skill level of the event or the engagement and the legitimacy factors behind it. Like, what kind of an audience does Saturn usually bring in with his worth, his general natural worth, right? Does he place? Has he won tournaments? Are you just looking for fights? Have you done offlines? Or do you do offlines? Have you fought any names over the years or people of status and whatnot that you fought or beaten? They might know Saturn in passing, but who's to say if he's a big enough name to them to be deemed important to visibility? Like, they may not be looking or caring about the community aspect. They may be looking at the fiscal pivot that's attached to the community aspect in this lens. And then there was another post he had over here in my DMs. Sonic Fox, I think, would glance, in my opinion, but not interact. Gropus, I think he could catch a Gropus later on down the road, and or others on that level that might take interest here. Also, as the spreadsheet like widens. I know he already told me about Syriax, which, okay, Syriax I think can take an honest interest to it, if not anything else. DeKill Sage, I think DeKill Sage could. I'm not 100% sure. I really don't know. DeKill Sage is always a lover of Dragon Ball, even if he is not a practitioner of it anymore. He is always down to support Dragon Ball stuff. I want to believe, I really want to believe, I think he would retweet this. I don't know if he would engage with it directly, but I know he would definitely retweet it, knowing his audience is Dragon Ball heads also. Because he used to do Skullgirls one-on-ones live on his stuff, and also do Dragon Ball live one-on-ones with people in chat. He used to do those forever and a day. I also tried to get in on those types of one-on-ones. I just was never there on time in order to do it, or see if I can actually connect with him in order to test it. Hook Gang God, I think would lurk on a good stream ticket. I don't think that he would support the event. I think he would lurk on a good stream ticket. KJ probably might be on board in time to play for something like this if he isn't already on board or having a booked match with Saturn for it. Zhao, the combo guy on media, like the Twitter techie that posts all that stuff on Twitter regarding all the tech on the game, he would definitely retweet something like this a couple of different times. I definitely see that being a good premise. Well, with the three Stooges that are here that are tagged, I'm surprised that Rhyme Style or Dada Doya didn't also take a look at this and retweet it, if they didn't already. So when it comes to my thoughts for this presentation, I love everything about the presentation here. Everything here is very professional. It's very clean, it's very direct, it's clear, transparent, and the presentation start to finish is just a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So let me go over my personal history with the one-on-one aspect, because I do because like those guys that know me through the scene, I do one-on-ones for years on this game. I still do. So how I think in the presentation, so let me go over my past thing here. And it's the same thing that I also tried to go over with him, which I think for the most part, he's in a good space because he did hear what it is I had to say regarding like my past thing and trying to 1v1 the whole of a community and like how effective that is over time. And then you just take who you take, because it's also a chance in getting to see names that you never even heard of before that also may be of just as equal in skill as the names or whatnot that you seek, and then some. Or they could even just be better players altogether. It all depends on the range and your reach. So, years ago, and this was during my competitive transition from just PlayStation to PlayStation and PC. So here was around the time that my laptop blew and I was just shit out of luck on trying to do anything with any of my tournaments for like a month, 2 months or so. And so I used my funds in order to, well, the funds I had saved up from my fundraiser and my donation drive in order to save up to get a PC in order to productively level up all of my equipment. And it took about 5.5, 6 years. And so I was eventually able to get there. It was a concrete around the same time as rollback beta. The rollback beta was first integrated on the game before we got the real game. During the rollback beta is when I made my technical debut on PC. That was back in late 2023. During that time period, I immediately got on pushing this. This was something that I was originally pushing in Kell's kitchen back in 2021, 2022, one of those areas. It was during the early sittings of COVID when, okay, since I'm on PlayStation a lot of times, this is before I even decided to do the donation goal for PC. There's a handful of names that I wanted to fight that kept, well, it's for exhausting but mainly negative reasons that I wanted to fight a lot of these people here for either questioning worth or questioning my brand, the decisions, or ridiculing continued focus on PlayStation and not on PC, when obviously I don't have PC, so I don't care about PC people. So I took names of everybody that I wanted to fight personally. I don't care if they're good, I don't care if they're bad, I don't care if they're godlike or fancy themselves the biggest wieners in the world in order for them to be sucked off because they're godlike. My goal is to just run the fade with all of you. And so I made a list of everybody that I wanted to fight. Years ago, like you got your Arsenals, Bagathots, Dragon FGC, Dio or Dimensional back when they played, Karma back when they played, Neo Leo, DGMC or Karma back when they played, Measy, Kingston, Thugabuttas, Ulysses, Taylor Swift, Diablo, Rick Gotham Hayton, Cursed, Zeke, Murder Lakes, Brian Hakai, Silver Tabby, Alucard, Patarian before his scandal, Jersey Sage, Sage 908, What Daniel Do, Iceberg, you name it. I probably wanted the fade with that person in order to test myself. Not so much to see if I could beat them all, but to test my worth as a competitor and my confidence in order to try fighting people of different merits and calibers than myself and what I'm used to in order to expand my horizon more. And I wanted to keep pushing that narrative instead of continually being undermined. Some people saw the worth in this, many other people did not. So that push, how does that push compare to the Saturn push now in both panels producing a global scale one-on-one arena of sorts with the host? The key aspect that is the driving force or the driving nail is presentation. It's all about presentation and the narrative in why you seek these out or why it's important or why it's deemed important. And so like for during that time, during a different time in the scene, that wasn't seen as important to some people. That was just seen as a selfish bid when that wasn't the case. When here, well, you tell me, it's a series of multiple money matches that can be seen to by the host, and you put up money, put up $25 in order to play a general set with him. You win, you get the money. He wins, he keeps the money, I guess, if I'm reading that right. So again, we go back to presentation. And even though like retweets for that one back then, when I was originally, it had boasted wanting to do one-on-ones with everybody across New York, the presentation just wasn't grasped at the time, because presentation with platform both go hand in hand. Even though I had one, I didn't have the other. Here, the narrative is you have them both, because he does have an eye on something. He usually always tweets something. Usually it's something meme-y or meme-ish, which it gets people's attention. Or usually he retweets things that have to do with personal interests, or things that have to do with Marvel or Dragon Ball, or maybe productive memes. Things that make you laugh. With the people, and the takeaway here for this, and how it all correlates to my personal experience and how this aligns up with this experience here. So in these spaces, a lot of people are cautious about being the first person to publicly commit to something new, right? That's normal social behavior. They want to know it's legitimate. Communities are reputation driven. Your name follows you. People are conscious of how they're perceived. Joining something untested can feel like a reputational risk, even if that risk is objectively or subjectively small, right? People aren't trying to sit here and be the next Nitro or Pred or Enzyme like that. No. Like, people just want to get their name out there and just have general worth to whatever identity they want to have. Their names is like, okay, you're that guy. There's that guy with that name that carries themselves that way. Another supposition or assumption, this is just part of my think tank, is depending upon how this is received, is I don't know how well people are thinking about like the guinea pig aspect. So the first participants, and this is the key thing here that helps this along, that makes or breaks it, is the first people that get on board here. The first participants may encounter either unclear rules, which that wasn't the case, scheduling issues, who knows, or technical hiccups. I don't know. Later participants benefit from those problems being solved. Said first participant could either feel slighted or maybe request a felt rematch is needed under the clearer context. The next assessment I'm thinking of is people also could be waiting to see who's involved. A person's general decision often changes dramatically depending upon who else signs up. So, for instance, if player X joins, I'm interested. Or if nobody I know is involved, maybe I'll pass. When it comes to hosting general tournaments, that shadow or unspoken rule of thumb is always apparent that decides how much traffic your event is actually getting in a favoritism perspective, simply because one person decided, I don't know if I want to sign up today. That one person signing up actually subconsciously makes or breaks other people signing on board simply because they gave a damn to play. Because there might be other people that want to play because he's playing, or because they're playing, or because they thought about it. The law of magnetism, so to speak, for those that know about the law of leadership and the laws of gravitational social development. So both the involvement and the critical mass point of view that I'm about to bring up next, they also tread on the economic networking effect. And so in that regard, I'm thinking about it like a lobby in an online game. Like, if you see 0-2 players, then you're probably going to leave. If you see 12 maybe, or 12 plus, then you probably join. The value of the event increases as more people participate, and each additional participant makes the activity more appealing to everybody else than the last. and it creates a positive snowball effect for the engagement rate. Engagement for sure is not the case here. There is no issue with that. A handful of DBZ creators and entities, not just to the lane of Dragon Ball fighters or to the IP of Dragon Ball itself, have shared this. Like I said, Globku literally shared this. Globku is a part of the Dragon Ball scene, but Globku isn't a definitive cortex of the Dragon Ball scene. He is just an anime creator, an anime FGC or anime game creator that will look at everything. He looks at all. There is no one, it is all. Along with most of the other activities that engaged with DBFZ entities. So all eyes are on him. All he's missing now is just either Syriax or Devil Artemis to give this a retweet or a boost, and it literally secures the full watch time algorithm of all of Dragon Ball's hashtag on Twitter. And it would be like, shoot, it might even be short of trending if you're lucky. I think if the vision is to house one-on-ones across the game scenes, I feel Saturn shouldn't measure the success of the event by whether the first episode really exploded or not. Instead, I believe he can keep the focus on creating visible examples and anchor points, such as, like, okay, feature the first match, then post clips or highlights, share the results, thank the participants, and then kind of rinse and repeat that process, and you can keep the process consistent. Each successful match makes the next person more comfortable joining because the concept is no longer hypothetical, it's now proven. And then I know you got your impatient people and whatnot that probably may or may not actually test the patience of this, that I'm sure will probably just be shot or be muted or however the shadow rules for that go, in order to make sure people don't skip the line, or to make sure that people don't overstay their welcome or try to sneak rematches in and whatnot, when the point of this right now is to fight everybody new, or everybody new that's on the ticket right now. Unironically, the hardest part in a community initiative is often getting the first few participants, and that's the make or break for how Saturn's going to do this, is what or whom are the first few participants that set the tone going forward for every match that he's going to be taking on this panel. At least up till, I don't know how long he's going to be doing this. Let's say at least up until Tokon gets here, Marvel Tokon, just to see what'll happen then. After that, I think people would stop asking, should I trust this? And then start asking, how do I get involved, right? Leave your thoughts and comments down below on what you think about the Saturn games and what you feel like this means to you. Take a look at the promo video. Let me know how that resonated with you. Let Saturn know how that resonated with you. I'm sure they would probably want to know. Both of us would probably want to know, just to see how the presentation felt to you and how Dragon Ball it is, or how does it feel? What resonates with you when you see a trailer like this or a proposition like this to fight newer and returning faces in the scene? All right, so for any newcomer out there that's trying to go on ahead and join this event or thinking about it, I want you to think about this. So the health of a fighting game community will just depend on people that are treating new events like real community spaces, not as something that only becomes worth attending after someone else proves that it is. This is something for you to find out. Because communities are created by attendance. Events, as such, are created by attendance. Early attendance creates momentum. Many players decide whether to attend based on expected turnout. If everyone waits to see if it succeeds first, attendance will stay low and slow, which is a classic coordination problem. Joining early usually helps to break that cycle, which is why they usually go by the term first come, first serve. The welcoming atmosphere here develops through participation. New players, returning players, veterans all contribute to the vibe and the dance here. If experienced members are present from the start, they're more likely to greet newcomers or run the casual sets in advance, answer questions you might have about the event if we've been here before, and just make the event feel worth returning to. Feedback is also more valuable than hesitation. Like, the healthier perspective here when it comes to Saturn's event is, this is a new event, so the community has an opportunity to help it grow. That doesn't mean everyone's obligated to attend every event or to be under the bounds that every event will succeed in that premise. It means that recognizing a community and its social atmosphere is strongest when members are willing to support new initiatives and ideas instead of waiting for them to be established first. And what he's also doing is, what Saturn's also doing is encouraging people to attend because he wants to try and help create a fun and welcoming environment, especially by taking up the role of the villain. Helps to create a more motivating message in the rallying and consistency implementations for fun factors than framing it as something that first has to prove itself before it's worth the time. That isn't fair. Like, when it comes to hesitance, I know, okay, you got like social uncertainty. You're waiting for the social proof about this. You're waiting on past experiences or established habits that players already have around weeklies or discords or local regulars or whatever it is, or other events of something like this that have happened online or offline. Like, trying something new requires changing routines. And again, that's not an issue. He's doing these, Thursday. So Thursday evenings or Thursday afternoons, I think is more than enough time to try and see if you can commit to the new toy in the toy box, so to speak. Like, the approach here, I feel, is very welcoming. I feel it's very consistent. It's enjoyable regardless of the results, whether you win or lose. And it's something people are helping to build together here for the scene that care about Dragon Ball FighterZ, is helping him create a really great scene here for all the momentum that he's got going into this. And so I do implore you to also take a look into it. While he wants to paint himself as the villain, Saturn, if you get a chance to actually meet him, Saturn is a very sociable and likable guy. If you also just don't want to really play, but you want to sit and socialize, he can do that too. Just sit and socialize with you and talk with you. He talks with everybody that's on stream. He's not an exclusive, and he's not an exclusionist. He can literally sit and talk with anybody on stream. You'd be surprised who he likes to talk to. It might even be you. Take the time to actually sit and talk with him and engage with him. Subscribe to the channels. As what goes on, I believe the envelopment of consistency with the welcoming nature of it, then the perceived risk of attending decreases. Once players have a positive first experience, they're much more likely to return and invite others, which creates the more stronger local DBFZ scene over time. Especially those that want something like this. That way, okay, you got tournaments, you got exhibitions, you have a money match panel. So you have outlets to keep yourself more than entertained. Either if you're the one playing or if you're the one watching and spectating. So just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Come on by stream. He'll have stream up on Thursday. Give it a shot. If you don't want to play, at least sit, lurk, and engage with the people and the persons involved. If you don't want to just engage with the persons, you want to get in, seek to message him, and see if you can get yourself a spot in the panel in order to just play against them. Everything in either or outline, everything is a win-win for everybody because you're getting a chance to just engage in something new and do something new to break routine. Am I gonna go? I'm really thinking about it, Midas. I'm really thinking about it. Let me keep it a buck. Because, like, money, I never turn down any one-on-one. And money matches, I might turn them down depending upon either the success rate or what are the stakes really involved besides money? Because I'll do it if it's like occasionally like a sport. If it's something that if it's a game that I'm competent in, or I'm confident that, okay, I could do well in despite win or loss, or if I could just take it, then yeah, I'll go ahead and play it and take it. I'm not sure if I could beat Saturn this time around. I'm not really certain. Last time I fought him, I did good across the board, but I didn't take a single game off of him. I took characters off of him. I can hold mix, take mix, challenge him, understand block pressures and ideology. A lot of his playing style has changed over the past year, 2 years or so since I fought him. So I don't know what I'd be looking at now. And then his team amalgamation, Cell, Goku Black, Baby. So a lot of neutral orientation in there. So I can't use base Goku, or I can't use a lot of my general base Goku oriented shells. I have to think of something totally different. But yes. But yeah, Midas, I am thinking about it. I'm honestly considering probably taking the double down approach, and I might go double or nothing. Because if I only probably get one shot, and then I gotta wait until like a whole other panel ideology to get a rematch, I want to try and make it count in order to make an impact in the community. But the thing is that I really need to de-rust for that one, because the odds are I'm probably still gonna get 5-0'd again. But I would like it to be closer, or just as close as it was last time, to indicate, okay, he's gotten better, I've gotten better, and I can still pose a very strong challenge to him. I got to see if I can find some of the homies, or if you're around, I need to get a training partner going. That way I can de-rust and I can get ready to fight him. Because I do want to add that I fought Saturn again. I would like to add that to my repertoire, my list of names that I fought across Dragon Ball FighterZ. Well, again, but at least it like rematch. That way it's not a productive one and done. That way, okay, I can try again and then see how the results favor this time around. But yeah, I'm thinking about honestly just putting up 25 or something, or probably go double or nothing, and then going ahead and fight him. It just depends. It depends. I have a little bit of time in order to try and de-rust and see what team can adequately present an amountable challenge to him based off of what I've played in the past. Not against him, but just in general, what I played and what would work. It's a challenge all the same, and it's something fun. I'm not looking at it to try and see if I can take a name. It's the challenge. It's the thought of a fun challenge is what I really would like. And there's a fun challenge here to be presented. I'm confident in my skill. I got nothing to really prove in winning or losing. It's just the fact, okay, I can put this on my bucket list. But chat, what are you going to do? You want to go in? You're going to play? You're going to support the players going in that are going to be trying to get their matches with Saturn? Where do you stand on the premise of the Saturn games? We got less than 72 hours on the clock before this thing goes live, so rest assured we're going to be getting a pretty good deal of a live stream. So 12 p.m., that's noon time. This could be a long stream, actually.